Well. If it ain't the bag holder coming back for another video, you guys just need the extra dopamine here, right? Beeline going up about 200% wasn't enough. You just have to come back and get that extra, pump fuel, the coke fuel, right? Well, don't worry, I got it. I got some really good coke fuel for you guys today, okay? So, some good news, by the way. I just want to come show you guys some good news. I tweeted Eric Jackson, and he replied to me, so, my life is complete. I can die alone now, so that's good. By the way, come follow me on X, guys. Like we need to. X is the only platform where you can tweet at a multi-millionaire hedge fund, powerful people, and they're able to see it, right? And especially if you're antisocial like me, right? You're not gonna go up, on Fifth Avenue and say hi to Jeff Bezos, right? Your security card is gonna sock you in the jaw, right? So the only chance for us plebs to get noticed, to talk to these rich, powerful people is through X, right? It's brainless. If you don't have an X, I don't know what you're doing. Especially if you're young and you're on Instagram and you're on TikTok and not on X. What are you doing with your life? Come on. Create an X account and follow me, please. Anyways, it's for your own good too, all right? So let's get back to the topic, all right? So Beeline is doing great. Yeah, 4.6, guys, jolly G, bro. It's on fire these last few days. Anyways, back to the video, right? So what is this video going to be about? I just want to break down, right, the how this Beeline equity and how does Beeline and the equity part works, right? What's the difference between Real Coal and Beeline, and what value is Beeline actually providing here, since they don't really own Real Coal, right? They own 0% of Real Coal, but the CEO does own 50%. And I outlined in my previous video saying that one aspect of why this is set up like this, why Nick set this up, is because of the scrutiny aspect, right? We don't want regulation to come and shut Beeline down or have Beeline be liable for any regulation that they might be breaking, right? And as of right now, I think everything's legit and legal. There's no regulation that Real Code is breaking, but we just don't, because it's such a preliminary product and it's so early in the process. We don't want that extra scrutiny, especially when Beelines, they can do just fine without owning a liquidity provider like Real Code, right? So that's, if you want more details, watch my other video. But for this video, I just want to differentiate what's the difference between Beeline and Real Code and all these liquidity providers, and how Beeline can still remain extremely lucrative, even though they don't own Real Code, even though they don't own a liquidity provider in this case, right? So they won't get the upside of the real estate appreciation when the house does get sold, but they also don't own the downside when the market does, go sideways or whatever, right? But anyways, that's not part of the topic today. I just want to let you guys look at this chart, right? Just take a moment and look at this chart. I drew this, by the way. Are you proud of me? Thanks. So what does this essentially showcase, right? Well, it showcases Beeline is this company here, and Real Coal is this company here, right? The green line exemplifies essentially a partnership, right? And both of them will solicit consumers. Beeline, right here, they act as a title and deed servicer. They act as a title and deed servicer, but they also act as a broker, right? So they'll make money through the title and deed servicing, and they also make money through, brokering the deal with the customer, right? And Real Coal, they make money, well, we don't care how they make money, we just care that we're getting paid, right? So I'm just gonna skip over that. So Real Coal is just the liquidity providers, right? And they issue tokens, right? They issue tokens to the international community, which consists of trillions of dollars of liquidity that they want to own prime U.S. real estate through real world assets, right? They don't want to do all the paperwork and stuff. They just want to go open their wallet and click a button, boom, you own X% of X real estate in the United States, the best country on earth, okay? And that's extremely bullish. That's extremely appealing for a majority of people, especially in other countries, right, where government capital control is insanely strict, and they want something that appreciates. They want something that's stable and appreciates at a consistent rate. So this is the problem that this entire diagram is essentially solving, right? And why is this diagram important? Because it differentiates the jobs of these two companies, right? Real Coal provides the liquidity, right, and Beeline provides the title and deed. And now the connection between the title and deed part is really important, because Nick's previous company is Linear Title, which is one of the fastest growing and most, the most praised company in their title and deed servicing, right? They sold the company for $100 million, which returned their investors about 250 times their money, right? And then Nick immediately started to create a new company, Beeline, right? They're still doing the same. They have all the executive come over from Linear Title, all the extremely good talents they retained from Linear Title, right? And during the downturn of 2021, they kept the people, and then they continue to invest in their title and deed processes, and they invest in AI. They streamlined the process, and they've even claimed that all of this work has shown to be able to accelerate the deed and title process by almost 4 times, right? So that's extremely bullish. So we know that they have this apparatus that they can leverage, especially when volume ramps up, right? But the volume isn't really ramping up at this point. The interest rate is still at a level that, it's pretty high. Not a lot of people are buying homes. The real estate market is still pretty stagnant at this point. Now, the real genius part of what Nick does, right, which what Nick does, he essentially craved out a market, right? He craved out a market in this slump of real estate market, right? This real estate market, everybody can agree that it's not going too well. It's slow, but it's starting to pick up, right? We're getting some tailwind, which is good for Beeline's other products. But Nick has been craving out this new market with partnership with Realco, right? So this is just a preliminary test, and we've already seen that there is demand, right? So Realco is just one of many, many more liquidity providers that's going to pop up in the market, right? And in order for them to scale, they need someone that is proficient, that is fast in the title and deed servicing aspect, right? Because if you want to get one transaction done and it takes 30 days, you're not scaling, right? There's no way you're going to scale. But if you could speed that up by 4x, by 8x, and slowly ramp up the scaling, which Beeline right now they are, they've claimed that they're probably one of the best in the industry. More of Realco, if competition does pop up, I think 80% of the competition is going to be on this side, right? On this side of the spectrum. More liquidity providers are going to come, right? And what do they need, right? They need Beelines, right? They need more Beelines if they want to scale, right? Do you guys understand what I'm elucidating right now? This is the important part that you guys are missing, okay? Beeline's investment in title and deed is going to be imperative in this new market that's about to enter the real estate industry, right? So what if Beeline gets overwhelmed, right? Because title and deed, you still need manpower, right? Sure, you might need less manpower with the AI and all of the technologies they've implemented, but you still need some people, right? Well, here's the better part that you guys missed when Nick keeps saying that they have softwares, an entire suite of software that they're using in-house, they're dogfooding their own product to make sure that it works, and it works for their purposes, right? And they said that they're going to license these out to smaller agencies. Now that's recurring revenue, right? They're licensing out their SaaS product to these smaller agencies. So even if this part, I think this part is easy to start. More competition, if they do pop up, it's going to be in this aisle, right? And if Beeline can't handle the amount of scale, the amount of volume, right, it means that they're going to become super profitable in that case. That's a good thing for us. These companies, they're going to outsource it to smaller agencies, right? More smaller agencies are going to pop up. It's going to be a boom in the entire sector. And what are the smarter agencies, if they want to be more profitable than their competitors, what are they going to do? They're going to license Beeline's entire SaaS suite, right? Now, why is this bullish? Because not a lot of companies are investing in this. There are companies that are coming into this sector, but they're not investing in this sector. They're not investing in AI and all of this stuff. Look at Figure, look at Better. All these companies, they're not doing title and deed, right? They're going for like all these other exotic crypto collateralized loan, right? They are a fintech company. They can go any direction they want. But I think Nick's vision is, if you look at it really, really closely, it's starting to come together, right? Like he created out a market and created a solution, right? The title and deed. All the other real world asset that promises you that it's backed by something tangible in real life. If there's no real legal backing that solidifies that ownership, it doesn't matter, right? What Beeline's doing here is real, it's tangible, right? It's on a legal paper, it's recorded in the government ledger. That's what's important, right? That's what makes real world asset valuable and has value in it, right? So that's that. So I want to show you guys this article, OFA Group, right? So it's a company, it's a Hong Kong-based company. They do some real estate stuff. They've announced a real estate tokenization platform, right? They're worth about $13 million market cap. Not investment advice. I'm not investing in this. It's Hong Kong based. Their website does not look legit at all, and I think they're just trying to follow the trend and get some liquidity out of the pump that Beeline's getting in the real estates, the entire sector actually. So they're just trying to get into the pump. Anyways, what they're doing. So in your mind, right? They're a Hong Kong based company. They don't really have a subsidiary in the United States. What which side do you think OFA Group is gonna land on, right? When they release this product, it's gonna be on this side, right? It's gonna be on this side. And look, Realco is gonna have more competitors, right? If this does work, this side is gonna be packed, right? But what isn't gonna be packed, and what they all need, what they all need is what Beeline offers. Okay, it's blowing my mind as I'm talking right now, right? So, all right, calm down, guys. Let's see the price of Beeline. Okay, it went down anyways. Doesn't matter. Okay, long term, this is $1,000. Okay, so yeah, so let's go back. So it's gonna be on this side of the spectrum, right? And the title and deed, right? Beeline's been investing in it. They're probably the best in the industry right now. And as they scale, they're gonna just get better, right? So there's another company called Joint Horizon, right? They act as a broker, right? I think this is their pure broker play, right? So they take a percentage of every transaction that they refer to their provider. They also have a liquidity provider, which is similar to Realco, right? As I said, more Realcos are gonna pop up eventually if this is successful, and there are multiple Realcos out there right now, right? Where's Joint Horizon? Yeah, and there are multiple Realcos out there right now. For example, Joint Horizon, they also partner with probably multiple Realcos, right? When I say Realco, I'm just saying liquidity providers. And they just act as a pure broker play, right? So they get X amount of percentage. So what do they actually offer? I don't think that much, right? They don't offer the title and deed servicing, and when time comes to massively scale and cut costs, they're going to be cut out of the broker play, right? So Beeline, on the other hand, they act as a title and deed servicer and a broker. So we get a whole package here, right? So something to think about. Anyways, what else? What else is there? I'll drag this video out for you guys, right? Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I just want to explain the difference using this beautiful diagram that I drew. Price of Beeline is doing pretty good. Everybody responded to me, which is so I'm happy and I can die happily now. So people are looking at Beeline. So right now it's just execution. Hopefully they can actually. Oh, another question that I got on X, which is what's tax liability, right? Well, if you look at the 121 exclusion, right, you only pay tax on $250,000 of capital gain or $500,000 if you're married, right? So that's bullish. For the most part, if you bought your home for 250,000 and it went up to $700,000, right? You only pay on the capital gain. So if you pay $250,000 on the home, you still deduct that $250,000 on the fractional sale. So as long as it's less than 500K and you're married, you're fine. You're probably gonna pay less than. You're not gonna pay any taxes, right? And if you are paying taxes, you can still deduct your original purchase price. I'm not an accountant. This is not tax advice, but I think the fact that Nick has thought through all of this and this FAQ is all here for you to read, guys. Just saying, okay? Anyways, this is not financial advice. Make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, I hope this kind of explained the bullishness of Beeline. Yeah. Anyways, good luck and like and subscribe. Thanks.